Gideon's grammar curriculum takes a step-by-step approach to mastery learning. It is important not to rush through the material as each booklet builds upon the previous one. In Grammar Booklet 3M, the student will learn about perfect and progressive verbs. Please remember to read directions carefully and go slowly in order to answer accurately and avoid too many corrections. Let's take a look at perfect tense verbs. The verb taught is the perfect tense form of the verb teach. As you can see, present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect all have the same verb, taught. So what is it that depicts if the perfect tense verb is past, present, or future? Let's look at the first example, present perfect. Molly has taught English classes at Brookhaven College. In present perfect tense, you must use have or has as the helping verb before the main verb. As an example using have, those women have taught English classes at Brookhaven College. The reason have or has are both options as the helping verb is due to subject-verb agreement. With a singular noun or pronoun, you must use the helping verb has. She has taught high school classes. With a plural noun or pronoun, you must use have. They have taught high school classes. Now let's look at past perfect. Kavita had taught her sister how to ride a bike. In past perfect tense, you must use had as the helping verb before the main verb. Lastly, let's look at future perfect. Boston will have taught his dog how to fetch by tomorrow. Future perfect tense, you must use will have before the main verb. Now moving forward, let's look at progressive tense verbs. Teaching is the progressive tense form of teach. Let's look at present progressive. Molly is teaching English classes at Brookhaven College. You must use is or are as a helping verb in front of the main verb when writing in present progressive tense. For an example using are, the boys are teaching the girls how to play football. Here, the helping verb is would be used with a singular noun or pronoun, and the helping verb are would be used with a plural noun or pronoun. Now, let's look at past progressive. Kavita was teaching her sister how to ride a bike. You must use was or were as the helping verb before the main verb. As another example, Kavita's parents were teaching her good manners. Remembering our rule about subject-verb agreement, was would come after any singular noun or pronoun. Were would come after any plural noun or pronoun. Lastly, let's look at future progressive. Boston will be teaching his dog how to fetch tomorrow. Use will be as the helping verb before the main verb. Available on the front inside cover of this booklet is a list of every verb used in this booklet in past, progressive, and perfect form. In this next activity, we will choose the correct form of the verb for the sentence. Let's look at the options that we are given. She has come, had came, or has coming to school before. Looking at our options, we can notice that has and had are used before each verb. This tells us, since we know has and had are used in perfect tense form, we need to decide which is the perfect tense verb. Referring back to the list on the inside front cover, we look for the word come. Once we have found it, we can find the perfect form of the word, which is come. Looking again at our options, we now know has come is the correct choice. Let's look at another example. The farmer is milked, will be milking, or have milked the cows later today. Notice how later today is underlined. This indicates that the verb will take action in the future, meaning it must be a future tense verb. By noticing later today, we now know the correct answer is will be milking. The farmer will be milking the cows later today. Now, let's practice creating our own sentence. Create a sentence with to grow in past tense form. We can refer back to the verb list on the front inside cover and see that grew is the past tense form of grow. Using the past tense verb grew, we can say, John grew very tall last year. Now, let's create a sentence with to grow in past progressive tense. Again, we will refer back to our verb list, find grow, and see that growing is the progressive form of grow. Since the problem is asking for past progressive, we know we must use was before growing. Sarah was growing roses in her garden. Lastly, let's create a sentence using to grow in past perfect tense. After looking at the verb list, we know that grown is the perfect form of grow. Since it asks for past perfect tense, we know that we must use had before grown. Carla had grown 4 inches taller since last summer. For any further questions or explanations, please ask your Gideon instructor.